friends, it's Jasmine, and I hope that you all are doing well. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I am a witchy content creator here on YouTube. So if you're into things like witchcraft, astrology, folklore, or just kind of keeping up with my weird,
crazy, ookie kooky, crazy, whatever life,
definitely stick around, check out some of the videos here on my channel. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back, babe. So today I want to talk about more on my witchcraft and astrology sort of series, kind of breaking down some planetary magic, some celestial magic, some sihir. That's what I want to talk about. And I've posted Aries and I've posted Taurus, and I've gotten a lot of really good feedback on those videos. And so I figured I would continue with this series. What I am doing with this series is I am uploading a video talking about the magical properties of the 12 constellations as we work through together, you viewers and I, as we work through together the 12 astrological seasons, starting with Aries, of course, being the first of the Zodiac calendar, and then ending with Pisces. The Zodiac for me, the planetary bodies for me, working with celestial cosmic energy is something that becomes more and more a part of my practice as I've been developing as a witch. And I find that it's really beneficial for my practice. Not only does it help connect me to higher sources of magic, in my opinion, but it also kind of really makes me focus on the world around me and tuning into the energy during that astrological season. So I'm uploading a video first, kind of talking about the magical properties, and then I will be uploading later a spellcraft video, how to weave magic through the power of this constellation. So if you haven't watched Taurus or Aries, and if you're interested, those videos are up on my channel, so feel free to check those out. But today we are going to be talking about all things Gemini.
we have smoke time.
This video is not going to really focus on Gemini sun characteristic traits. I'm talking more about the energy that is going to be emanating from our sun being in the zodiac of Gemini. And the sun kind of radiates that energy through that constellation. And we as witches can take that energy and weave it very intentionally into our magic. Also, little time out for a nail cam and also an earring cam, I guess. I have these cool like pirate earrings I got from Spirit Halloween sometime last year, and I still have like these pink and gold nails that are just kind of a vibe.
Let me show you what's up.
Gemini, let's look at the elemental correspondence, because all 12 of the zodiac actually fall into 4 elemental kingdoms. Those elemental kingdoms being earth, air, fire, and water, of course. Gemini is an air sign. So if we look at the element of air in witchcraft, we are talking about the astral, we are talking about the unseen. Not the physical world, not material assets. We are talking more about thoughts, more about ideas, more about the astral. Gemini is also called a mutable sign. All 12 of the zodiac fall within 3 aspects. Those aspects would be cardinal, fixed, mutable. And the interesting thing is that if you actually look at a natal wheel, it follows in this order, starting first with cardinal Aries, then with fixed Taurus, then with mutable Gemini, and then we start back up again with cardinal Cancer, right? So it kind of follows this cardinal fixed mutable sort of triad. And I'm not really going to talk a lot about cardinal signs or fixed signs in this video, but mutable energy is very transformative. Mutable energy is that of, in the Vedas, the destroyer, because this also kind of fits in line with the creator, the preserver, the destroyer. So mutable energy can be very destructive. Mutable energy can be very transformative. And mutable energy is the most fluid energy, I would say, of all 3 aspects, with fixed being the least fluid and the least flexible. Mutable signs like Gemini also kind of represent these sort of in between. So when we are shifting into Gemini, we're kind of shifting from a bit of spring into summer. It's a shift, unlike fixed signs, which kind of represent the epitome of the season, and then cardinal signs usher in the new. Fixed is kind of like ushering in the old and making way for cardinal to bring in the new, because this is not a linear thing of creator, preserver, destroyer. Or you could think of this as like the three fates, the one who pulls, the one who measures, the one who cuts. You can think of it like that as well. Whatever sort of holy triad you want to use to help you remember the three aspects within astrology of cardinal, fixed, and mutable. Something that I think is also important to point out that my lovely friend Alvine Green is important to kind of talk about, that many of my down under witches can kind of speak on, and I would love to hear your journey and your perspective if you decide to kind of go through this project with me, is these northern and southern hemispheres shift in opposite directions, similar to how we have our Wheel of the Year. So for those of us in the north, we just had our Beltane festival and they just had their Samhain festival. They shift in different directions. But the interesting thing is that the sun being within the 12 houses of the Zodiac, that is a stagnant thing in the sense that we are both experiencing the northern and southern, or as above, as below aspects of the stars on our planet based off of what hemisphere you are in. And that to me is so powerful. If we think about some of Gemini's planetary correspondence, Gemini perfectly corresponds traditionally in astrology to the planet of Mercury. Roman mythology, this would also be the god Hermes. So if we're thinking about Mercury, Hermes, we're thinking about the god of thieves, the messenger of the gods. And if we're thinking about Mercury in terms of planetary magic, we're thinking about magic in terms of wisdom and enlightenment, education, and most importantly about Gemini and Mercury and leading forth into the third house, that would be communication. Gemini rules the third house in a natal wheel. I've talked about the first house with Aries, the second house with Taurus. Gemini rules the third house. So this would be the house of Gemini. So what does the house of Gemini look like? Well, the house of Gemini is the house of communication, learning, and understanding, which also perfectly matches with the planet Mercury. Whenever you are incorporating the planets or the planetary hours into your magic, you can fully utilize the energy of Mercury for spells when it comes to road openers, blockbusters, or peace spells, communication spells, truth spells. You can kind of weave all of that in. You can also incorporate Mercury into some glamour as well, because especially like, let's say you're going to a job interview or you're trying to secure a loan on a house, you're going to need the blessing of communication. You can also incorporate some shadow aspects of Gemini as well, incorporating into the shadowy side of Mercury, right? We're also talking about thievery with Hermes. So not that I'm condoning crime at all,
because I would never, but
when it comes to taking something that doesn't belong to you, this could be a prime time for that as well. Trickery, connivery. This is where I think some of Gemini's shadow aspects of being two-faced, because Gemini is the twins. So those two faces of Gemini, that masculine and feminine that is depicted on Gemini's associated major arcana card being the Lovers. If you take a look at a Rider-Waite-Smith deck, the Lovers card represents Gemini within RWS. You will also find these same twins on the Devil card. I would say some more benevolent aspects of Gemini would be if you wanted to do a road opener spell, in the sense that, let's say you're trying to create a new pathway for yourself, but you feel like there are roadblocks in your way. A road opener or a blockbuster could be great. And a lot of times a blockbuster is what we use to kind of get rid of the blockages blockbuster, and a road opener opens the way. So you can use a blockbuster and a road opener together. I find that personally that works best for myself, is to delete the obstacles and to create a new pathway. And that sort of magic is a great benevolent way to weave the energy of Gemini, that mutable, transformative, fluid magic of Gemini, into your practice. What doorways are you looking to open? What new pathways are you looking to start? What obstacles are in your way? This is where we would pull cards and practice divination and take a look and really see how can we be bettering our life through working with the stars. Another way that mercurial energy can come into play is, let's say you're trying to learn something new, whether you're a student or you're just a scholar. You could make a Mercury oil, bless it under this solar celestial time of year, and you could wear that perfume oil when, let's say, you're reading, or let's say you're in class, or you could take a little bit of that oil, put it on your hands, and bless your homework with it. Incorporate the astrological symbols or sigils of Gemini and the planet Mercury into some of your spellwork and spellcraft when it comes to learning and retaining information or communication. Maybe you are looking to get, I don't know, a bank loan or a business loan. You could take the business card from the banker, take it home with you, and weave some magic over that. You could burn some mercurial candles, rub some mercurial oil, and work that glamour, that sugar spell, that communication work onto the business card, which would be a tag lock for the banker. Witchcraft is something that is here to empower you in any way that you see fit. And your vengeance and your rage is also divinely sacred as well. For myself as a pagan, I look to our gods, and none of our gods are perfect, and they all display benevolent and malevolent qualities. I believe that we are living incarnations of these gods. So your vengeance and your rage, your pain and your suffering can be sacred as well. And you can also weave that into your magic. Maybe you have someone in your life who you feel like has been fake and has been fraudulent. You could use this mercurial energy, this planetary aspect of Gemini, to kind of uncover the snakes in your grass. Or maybe you're trying to be two-faced, and maybe you're trying to play both sides. This could also be good to weave this as well into your magic. Just like we can break those barriers and do a blockbuster, and just like we can open the pathways and do a road opener, we can also destroy the pathways, and we can also place obstacles. We ourselves can be the placer and the remover of all obstacles.
Period.
Do with that information as you will. Comes to herbs that we can work with and associate with Gemini, we could take a look at the birth flowers for the months that Gemini is in. Those flowers would be a great way to kind of bring in some mercurial and Gemini sort of energy. Gemini, per Solomonic planetary magic, is associated with mixed jewel tones. So there isn't necessarily just one color, but oftentimes orange is some of the most popular to bring in the mercurial energy. Personally would say that when you're researching some of your herbalism, you can really simplify it by seeing either what planet these herbs are associated with or what element. Any herbs that are associated with learning, communication, understanding, or the planet Mercury, or any herbs, okay, that are also associated with the element of air would be mercurial. So keep that in mind. The same goes for animals, and this is something that's definitely looser and not as concrete in occult kind of understanding. So there's not just one answer to this, kind of like herbs, right? There's not just one answer. You as the witch, as the magi, have to kind of connect to your own vibration and see what corresponds to you. But the same applies for animals. If you are looking to work with the spirits of the land or the spirits of animals in your magic, think about what animals you associate with trickery. Think about what animals you associate with knowledge. Think about what animals you associate with enlightenment and learning. For me personally, I would definitely associate foxes. I would also probably associate crows, because both of those animals to me are incredibly smart and can be tricksters. it's around this time of year where I fully feel like I've woken up from winter slumber. And I live in the Midwest in the United States, and right now we are very much shifting into summer. Spring has definitely come and gone with Taurus season, and we are now experiencing high levels of heat where I am. And so because of that, it's hard to ignore this shifting mutable aspect of Gemini from spring into summer. I really hope that you all have enjoyed this video. I plan to make more as long as you guys are enjoying these sort of astrological or planetary series in this project. I will continue to make them. So this video is going to be released early for those on Patreon, so that way they can actually watch this video before Gemini season starts, and it will be released on YouTube around the beginning of Gemini season. All of my links are down below, of course, so if you're interested in taking a class from me, or if you're interested in getting some early or exclusive release content, check out my Patreon. Really good ways to follow me if you're interested in connecting on social media. I have a TikTok, 3 Obsidian Eyes. Check the link down below. I also have Facebook and Instagram. Those links are down below. Feel free to send me a message. Definitely want to wish all of my Islamic followers and subscribers a very, very, very happy, blessed Ramadan Mubarak. Thank you all so much. I know that for myself, I very much had a very interesting Ramadan. You know, fasting for me is something that is a part of my practice, even as someone who, you know, is not necessarily a practicing Muslim. I take some of this myself very seriously, as you know, there's ancestral cultural ties there, and I want to venerate those. And I do have friends and family who do observe Ramadan, and it is something that even as a practicing witch, even as a sahira, I do kind of take to heart. And I was very blessed this Eid that my cousin gave me this wonderful, wonderful oud. And I'll show you guys the package just because it's so cute. Right? So cute. Check this out. I feel like everything we do in the Arab world is just so ornate and so beautiful. I appreciate this so much. Thank you so much, cuz. And of course, also an Eid Mubarak as well. If you liked this video, please make sure to give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and I enjoy seeing your guys' comments down below. If you've made it until the end of this video, use the code word Mercury, like the planet Mercury, anywhere in the bottom of the comment section. It's kind of a fun game between you and I, to where I know that you've actually sat through and listened to me talk and me ramble about things that I'm interested in, that hopefully you are interested in too. Thank you all so much for the love and support, and until next time, blessed be.